Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, here it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Woo! Yeah. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Special guest appearance by Big E.
Well,
Kadog is here. How are you, pal?
quite well. I'm
Forgot how to do this.
Yeah, dude. I hit that smelling salt. And my brain stings. It stings.
Yeah, that was a powerful one.
Yeah.
Did you break it open or something?
I gave it an extra whack. Yeah.
Yeah, you sure did. Is it still going?
How you been, Mike?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. How was your Thanksgiving?
It's very good.
Yeah.
Lots of family time, different events. It was a nice time off.
Yeah, I agree. I had some turkey this year.
Good.
Some stuffing, the usual. The Lions game, how about that, huh?
Great game. Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it. I don't know if great game is right, but they won. I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very good win.
Yeah. 7-4, first place by themselves. Gotta love it. E, did you watch the game?
Of course.
You did?
Yes.
I had fun trolling E for part of the weekend about his fair-weathered fanness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Whatever.
He's back on hard, huh?
was
that's okay.
hashtag fake
And that's-
fanning him
that's
all weekend.
All right. That's all right. E, hang in there. It doesn't matter. You're a reasonable consumer. You're using your time wisely. You're not going to waste your time on a team that doesn't deserve it. Now that they deserve some time, you give them the time.
I have to defend my past.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Nor would you have gotten a plaque had you hung in there through thick and thin.
I know, but, E likes to jump out there like, hell yes, we won, that whole thing. And I'm
We.
like, no, get out of here, you.
I didn't say
Mr.
we won.
Whatever you
Dude,
said.
both of my boys mentioned the word "we" while watching the game. I was like, excuse me, gentlemen, be
Let 'em-
careful with this.
Let him have the we. This is all that means is my city, our team.
That's how I
we.
see it. I don't view it as I'm on the team. I view it. What?
Well, obviously they don't view themselves as on the team, but they're viewing it as their team. And I'm like,
That is their
gentlemen,
team.
gentlemen.
They're in Detroit. They were born in Detroit, weren't they? See, I think my thought is you only have a choice. You have a choice of not watching them, or that's your team. You don't have a choice to watch other teams.
Really?
I don't believe that. I don't
Yeah,
believe in that.
you-
I don't believe in it. I believe that where
Well,
you're born is where
There's been
that's your
no
team.
better time to adopt another team.
I
Are you
understand
kidding
that, but
me
I don't
with
believe
what's available?
that.
On,
I don't believe in it.
Yeah, now of all times
Yeah.
in history is the time
could
when
totally
you
be a
can
Dolphins
adopt.
fan or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. Anyway, nice win for them. Oh, Michigan, Ohio State. I know you didn't watch it. The
No,
whole
I
world watched it, but good Lord. E, are you off? Are you not a Michigan fan anymore since they lost?
I don't want to talk about
Kinda
Saturday.
partial to those
I don't
Buckeyes.
I don't want to talk about Saturday. That is the most mad and most frustrated I've been in a long time watching
Really?
sports. Yes.
Were you
That's where
blaming
this comes from. I cut myself chucking a beer bottle or something.
You were that mad at
Wait,
that?
wait.
like-
Explain how this happened.
Well, not
Because I can
chucking-
chuck a beer bottle.
Okay,
yeah,
and
I
I would
should-
never cut my hand.
I shouldn't say chucking a beer bottle. I was reaching for a beer bottle to be pissed, and it was one of those Bud Light aluminum ones that have it was more just I got the. I mean, it wasn't more because of that. It was more just those. You know what I'm talking about? Those tall aluminum ones. They have screw-on tops.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of have a weird edge, and I was in a frustrated rage. I was picking up this top to chuck it. It was not the bottle, I should say, the
Gotcha.
top, I guess, to chuck it, and it just cut my finger just so.
Really?
Yes.
Why were you so mad?
Because they should have won that game. Not
Yeah.
because of refs, not even because of any of that, but because
Yeah.
Ohio State, they didn't score, really, to me. Like, they didn't, that game, in reality, should have been 17-3.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, I guess they should have made those field goals, too, but they didn't really, in my opinion, they didn't, give up a defensive touch or a touchdown until the overtime, because one was a pick six and one they got it first and goal on the 4.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Michigan outplayed them, but in the end,
I
all
went
that
in thinking
matters
they were going to lose, and the problem was is that game all along. I'm like, they should win this now,
Yeah.
and then I got just so pissed.
Yeah, it sucks.
And you know another thing, by the way, I don't know what's going to happen here, but Ohio State should not jump Penn State and go into the playoffs. I think if we're going to have both,
it's a crazy thing, right? You got Penn State, who's beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship,
and now they're going to be
Wisconsin.
in the Big Ten championship game. If you're going to have title
I tweeted
games,
this on Saturday that the Big Ten championship game was Michigan-Ohio State on
well,
Saturday.
of course it was. But
I mean,
what is the committee going
point
to
of
do?
having a-
What's the committee going to do? They're in a real bind now and trying to
Yeah.
explain why these championship games are important. If, like you say,
they
Ohio
said-
State
right.
leaps them, and arguably Michigan should leap.
I was just going to say you can make an argument for Michigan. I mean, being the number 3 team in the country,
lose by 1 point at Iowa, lose in double overtime
to
at
the number
Ohio
2
State.
team in the
Right.
country, beat Wisconsin and Penn State.
Right, killed Penn State, right?
Yeah. And to drop out. I mean, they're sitting at 5 right now.
Honestly,
You could
I don't think they're out of it, Mike.
really.
When you say that,
Well, you know
when you
what's funny
say it
is
that way,
a lot of people think that that Ohio State was better to have not even be in the Big Ten title game than if they had gone and lost the Big Ten title game, which is ridiculous to me.
there were plenty of people saying they're better off not having to go face one of those teams. They've
Yeah.
already done enough that with a signature win over a really good Michigan team. Like why bother? So
I look at. I don't think Michigan should be in the playoff. Oh no, I'm not saying I don't. Maybe they should be. But if we're gonna all have conference title games and that's the big deal, then you should have to win your title game to be in consideration. And maybe Penn State shouldn't be in the playoffs. But I don't know. I don't know.
you mean minimally you should have to win your.
I think you
your
should have
title
to win
game.
your
Yeah.
title game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks because when you've got it's like the AFC, NFC, and some of those years
Where the
you
one
had
side just-
one side is just way stronger, and then you're playing this Super Bowl.
But you're talking about the Big Ten that is not good this year. So that
well,
doesn't
half
work
the
when
Big
you're saying,
Ten is.
Well, half of it.
I mean, they've got
two of the
four
teams
teams
are
in the top 7.
I know, but 2 of the teams are really, really dominant.
Right.
Whereas these other 2 have kind of crept up there and
Yeah.
played with it a bit. But he's right. Neither of those teams that win that ought to be in the top 4.
Yeah,
No way. Especially when you look at Ohio State and Michigan and what happened between those 4 teams.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
it'll
don't.
be-
I don't know. I just don't get the point then of the title game if you can just win without going then. And they lost to Penn State. Whether Penn State's better than Ohio State, most people probably don't believe that. It was one game, but they did. They had their chance and they lost to Penn State. And then Penn State goes on to the Big Ten title game and you're going to bounce them?
Yeah, but you can't have a number 2 beat a number 3, take a week off, not lose to anybody, and then have Penn State, who's sitting at what 7,
It's all just such a.
And
So
then
effed up about the whole
beat
thing.
Wisconsin. Yeah, it's
They need to expand it to like 16 teams, man.
It needs to at least
Yeah,
be 8.
I agree.
At least it would at least be 8 to me. That's the.
But I remember saying that when it was 2 teams and then 4
Right.
teams. It's like, it needs to,
Oh,
that
4
fifth and
teams is
sixth
better than
teams.
2, but
Yeah.
really, it'd be awesome, dude. 16 teams.
Dude, we should have a 64. Do it just like the NCAA. The NAACP has gotten this so right for so long.
Yeah.
Put 64 teams in there. Fuck it, let them go to battle. I know that's not possible with football,
But
but
even then, there's
it'd be
8
awesome.
teams with a real argument that they ought to be in there instead of someone else. So there's always going to be that argument.
I know. Well, yeah, because it's not, NFL, there's 32 teams, and, you'll have the division, so there's only 16. You can play a lot. You're not going to play, you can't make it. There's conferences, and you can't make them play.
Well, when you're dealing with just 4 teams, though, these little mistakes here and there
Right.
can mean your season. I mean, Michigan had a great season, and
yeah.
just because a couple plays here and there, they're not going to be in that, or possibly won't be in that top 4. I would argue they should be.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument for it too. I know it's tough, Jay, because you didn't see it. I know you were busy with your.
I saw the highlights. I went and watched
Did you?
the highlights. But I was
Some
busy
of
with
the-
my Yuletide merriment, which I'll get to in a
Yeah,
moment.
we'll get to your Yuletide merriment. Because
you-
I think it's kind of bullshit.
I'm fired up. No, I'm fired up.
I know it's easy to say on paper.
No,
I'm
fired
desperate
up.
to know what your merriment.
We only have
includes.
27 days till Christmas, Mike, okay?
Oh,
Let's put it that way.
Understood. Did you see the argument that Harbaugh's going to get fined? I'm sure
I'm
if he
sure.
hasn't already
Yeah.
for his bitching about the refs, which
Bitterly disappointed.
bitterly disappointing.
I think
yes.
the thing is, when you have a game like that, dude, I don't know if every penalty, I don't know the whole thing. I definitely don't I don't like blaming refs. But when you look on a game that goes into double overtime and Ohio State has 2 penalties for 6 yards do you really think they only committed 2 penalties? I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't believe it.
I don't know.
that-
Well, I watched the game, so I have plays that I know specifically. I feel like I could
Yeah.
say there's a pass interference or
honestly,
there's.
I know Harbaugh was livid about that 4th down run He didn't get to the 15.
I don't think
there's no argument there. You're never going to overturn something like that.
I know. They were not going to walk out there and end the game saying, "Oh, we placed the ball in the wrong spot."
Well,
Right?
I was going to say, like, I don't care about either of those teams, and I watched that just like cold, just
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm just going to watch it.
I
to
hate
see
both
what
of
I
these
think.
teams.
And I thought he got there, honestly. I thought the main camera angle was a little bit behind the line, so it appears perhaps
that illusion.
Yeah, it gives the illusion that if you had one right down
See,
the
this
line,
is where
and
we
maybe
need the
they do.
freaking things on the field,
you,
dude.
You got to grid the
That's
field
bullshit.
and chip it off.
How can we sit here and
Games
fucking
turn every
by some
freaking game turns on these
Yeah.
spots.
by some
Sports.
fat dude just sitting over there
Yes.
running down the line and going like, "This is where the ball was."
I know it's
I
absurd.
don't know why it's so infuriating to me, but there are in every game you watch, college or pro, there is a time when a guy's doing that run for the sideline and steps out of bounds, and then it's like, what? You gave him an extra 2 yards
And
on
they're
that
just
spot.
moving the sticks without even thinking about it. You're like, wait, that's changing the game right now. This should
Yeah.
be a punt. You know,
Are you
This-
kidding me?
yeah.
That was 3rd and
Change
2.
of possession.
Yes, this is and it
enormous. It changes games
it-
unquestionably.
It does change games when they make a punt and it goes out of bounds and you're like,
How
and
do they know
some
where
guy's
that
just
exactly
running up the
is?
sideline and he just spots it and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you chip the ball, if you grid the field and chip the ball, we end all this shit.
It's worse than the strike zone. You know, this is more important
Yes.
to me than the strike zone is.
I agree. I totally agree.
But honestly, I thought he did make it, and like you said, it was too close to say that, you know, overturn that call
Yeah.
and end the game.
It's the problem I have, and I've always had with instant replay, where they do that whole, you know.
Well, there's a level of
there's not-
discretion. It's not a de novo review. They're not reviewing it anew. They're
I
just-
wish they would review it anew. I don't know
Yeah.
why they can't.
I know. Why can't you just
I-
admit? We're reviewing
Okay.
it. Let's look at it brand new.
We
Square.
made a call on the field.
I know.
You're calling bullshit. You've stopped everything
If the
to
camera
call
says
bullshit.
differently.
So now we judge. You've got 6 cameras. Where before you had 2 eyes and you're kind of half moving and you do the best you can. Now we've stopped all the action. We've got 6 cameras on this one moment in time. Now make the call.
Yeah.
End
Why
all
do you
this
have to sit
bullshit
there and
of
listen to the refs?
because 9 times out of 10 they don't come back and say the ruling on the field has been confirmed. It's usually the ruling on the field stands, which is small lingo, but it means something. There's a difference in those
Right.
two things. The one says, "Yeah, we just can't without we just don't know for sure," and so they side with what the call was on the field. I just don't. It just seems like something that would be so simple to just go scrap it all. Fuck it. For this moment right here, we're going anew, and we'll just make a ruling.
Yeah.
There were a couple.
Just scrap this whole sport. Just go to soccer. Be done with this.
There were so I didn't have a problem with that 4th down call. I knew there was no way you were going to overturn that.
course.
There were a couple pass interference penalties, and I hate bitching about refs, and I'm not going to blame Michigan and Wilton Spate had some.
They gave them 14 points. That's where they lost the
handed
game.
Ohio State 14
That's
points.
where they lost the game.
That's totally where they lost the game. But some of those pass interference non-calls and calls were like, holy shit, what game are you looking at? Was it Chesson that was absolutely mauled on the field at one point?
You know what,
on a 3rd down, they just didn't call for some reason.
I can't remember, but
it was incredible.
Refs in NFL and college, I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. It seems cliche, but it seems like it's as worse as it's ever been, and as inconsistent as it's ever been. I don't
Scrap
know.
the sport.
Right.
Be done with it.
And the Lions Thanksgiving game was the highest watched. What was it they say? The highest watched NFL game this year.
Was it really?
Yes.
Well,
No
Aretha got it
like
started
20
with a bang, didn't
Oh
she?
my God!
Dude, that
the fuck was that?
you know what that
Selfish
was?
bitch. Just sing the song.
It is
You know
so
what that-
selfish.
It's
know what
not
the-
about
so
you.
selfish.
It's about the national anthem.
Dude, here's the thing, though. Aretha has such a classic, great voice, right? Just sing the national anthem
Yeah.
in your voice.
Yes.
And everybody be like, that's badass. That was Aretha Franklin doing
Yep.
the national anthem. Sweet.
Motown legend,
Yeah.
Detroit original. It's perfect. You can't get any better. From the wool fucking jacket indoors to the missing
Dude,
tooth
hold
to
on.
the-
Wool jacket. That was chinchilla, if I've ever seen chinchilla.
okay, all right, I'll give you that.
There were 3,000 chinchillas killed for that. Yeah, to the damn Detroit Lions
Beanie?
ski hat. Okay.
It was the most. You know what that was though? That was a chance once again for the country to unite on Twitter and have a
Yeah,
field day,
yeah.
and that was really fun. I took great pride in going immediately to Twitter and reading everybody's comments about Aretha. I'm still catching some shit online, by the way.
I
People
saw
were-
that guy charging you with racism.
Yes. Yeah,
What
the
is that?
racism charge.
Dude, I don't
was-
care who sung that and what color they were. If they sang it like that, I would have been fucking mad.
Yeah, he got mad at me because I said something like "classy anthem Dallas," because they just had the trumpet player out there, and he might. I think he was black too, and then I said something like, "Yeah, better than the self-serving whatever we got in Detroit."
Yeah.
And this guy was like, took issue with that. Of course it was because she was black that I would make that comment. It was kind of his point, but. Absurd. Anyway, you talked about Michigan or the Lions game being highly rated. That Michigan Ohio State game was extremely highly rated, massive ratings for that one. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Anytime you've got 1, 2, 2, 3 playing each other, it's going to be huge. According to the numbers released by ESPN, they were just calling that one the game.
Just think if they ever play that game, like, I don't know, in prime time.
Well, yeah.
Instead of the traditional noon start for that game every year.
Well, they said
They did it
that,
once. Remember in 2006 they did it at night.
they?
I couldn't,
No,
yes.
they did it at 3:30. And
Oh,
that-
3:30. Okay, 3:30.
and
yeah.
that game got bigger numbers than this one. This is the highest rated since that game.
Put it on at 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever
I know.
that game is,
Yeah, 8 o'clock prime time.
kill.
It would kill. You'd pull massive numbers. But they said the difference in those numbers between 06 and what we saw on Saturday, the only difference was West Coast audiences, they've got to get up at 8 in the morning,
Yeah.
9 in the morning to watch that.
Right.
And so those just tend to be smaller numbers. But it got a 10.4 rating. That one in 06 got an 11.5 overnight rating. The rating was up 53% from last year's Michigan-Ohio State
Whoa.
game. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot, man. Anyway, if you missed it by chance, they are replaying it like crazy on like ESPN Classic and ESPN or Big Ten Network. I think was airing it like 3 times today.
I guess.
This and that. So, yeah, it's too bad. It sucks, but it'll be interesting to see what they.
I think they still got a shot, man.
Do you really?
I'm just looking at the teams that are there and going, why not?
Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. What's there? 1 week left? 2 weeks left?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, choices, choices, choices. That's what makes America great. Right now at Zott Ford and Holly, the choice is truly yours. Lease the all-new 17 Ford Escape or the new 16 Ford Focus, whichever you prefer. Each just $131 a month for 24 months. You heard right, $131 a month gets you a new Ford Escape or Focus, your choice. Get your ass down to Zott Ford because nobody can do what they do. See their incomprehensible deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. Moreover, free flat screen TV.
What?
To all TDC listeners who buy a new or used vehicle between now and the end of November.
Get outta
I know
here.
we only got a few days left, but get down there and get your new flat screen. Free of
I
charge.
want to know more about this flat screen.
Free of charge. I bet it's bigly.
It's bigly.
It's the best.
When you think of flat screen TVs, this one is better than all the rest.
Yeah.
It's the best flat screen we could find. Yeah, awesome. So Jay, we had our first Hollywood weekend since you declared that you're getting involved with Merriment this year.
Merriment.
I want to kind of smile and grit my teeth through that, knowing you and knowing what a non-Merriment filled person
Mike,
historically you are.
Let me just say this. I haven't watched 4 movies within 6 months in years, okay?
I argue you haven't watched 4 movies in 6 years.
I watched 4 movies over the holiday weekend. You
did?
4 Christmas-themed movies.
Wow. And?
I watched The Grinch. I watched Christmas Vacation. I watched Christmas with the Cranks, a little-known
yeah,
Tim Allen
yeah.
movie, and Home Alone.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, I'll say this: The Grinch with Jim Carrey sucks. I don't have to like everything about this
I was
Christmas,
gonna-
do I?
I
I'm
could
trying
see
to be
that
married.
sucking. I never watched it,
Dude,
but I could see that being
It
terrible.
blows. It really does. It's bad. He looks unconvincing as the Grinch. It's just too much. It's clear. It's clearly like done on this little sound stage that is an unconvincing Whoville.
Okay.
And they try to make all these subplots and shit. Don't like it, man. Look at that. That's not the Grinch, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Carrey's had a few movies like this where they're trying to just play on the fact that his mouth,
He's
the way
zany,
he,
yeah.
the zany roles he's so good at. Mask was huge.
See, check that out.
Yeah.
It's kind of cat-like. I mean,
Did
I'm
the
not
kids like it?
spoiling anything here. This has been out for 20 years, but
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's seen it. I think it sucks.
Okay.
I
I never
don't know.
saw it, so I can't really
Yeah,
debate
like-
you on it.
Me and Sweet Pie mainly watched it, and she seems somewhat entertained. But I don't know. But Christmas Vacation, obviously, was the highlight of the weekend.
Christmas Vacation.
Home
Okay.
Alone, man. I didn't realize what a little cocksucker that Kevin kid was.
Does that movie hold up?
It's pretty good. You know, it is what it is. You put an 8-year-old, you know, you
Right.
put him in a situation where he's going to hold down the fort while his parents are in France, you know, and he's going to thwart burglaries
What's the
and
deal?
shit.
They forgot him at home?
They
or
forgot him. He was being a cocksucker, like I
Right.
said, a real dick the night before they were going to leave. And so
Who-
they
what
Couldn't
kid
get
is
his
a
cheese
cocksucker
pizza. He
right
couldn't get
before?
his cheese pizza. That was the deal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, he's just being a dick. So they put him in the attic. They made him sleep in the attic. And he's like, I wish my whole family would disappear. And so they then leave the next morning, and they have like 80 kids, so they miscount, and they all go
Yep.
to the airport and forget Dipshit. Well, Dipshit comes downstairs finally and thinks that he wished away his parents. And so, yeah.
And so now he's living home alone. And
Yes.
so who?
Again, this was done in 1990, if you never know.
Yeah, no, I think I saw it. I remember vaguely Joe
good
Pesci.
movie.
Joe Pesci's involved.
The whole time I'm thinking, like, this is what put Macaulay Culkin on Michael Jackson's radar.
Yeah,
That
probably.
fucking
Yeah.
movie. Jackson's watching that, just going, oh.
Look at him.
Seen him doing the
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with
Pesci's
the-
in it. You're right. Yeah, Pesci's in it.
Who's the other guy? The tall,
I don't
know.
Big
Yeah, I
E
can't
looking
think of
dude,
his
right?
name.
Is
You're
he kind of
right.
Big E looking?
I can't think of his name, but he was a very '90s character. Like he was in a bunch of those '90s movies as like the generic
Character
bad guy,
actor.
kind of.
Yep. Yeah, dude. But
So-
we got the tree up. It's on, man.
So what was your problem with this movie? I mean, you've got children of
I
roughly
didn't have a
his
huge.
age.
I didn't have a huge problem with it, but it's just not realistic, Mike. I've got an 8-year-old. And I'll tell you what, Sweet Pie would not have been able to pull all that shit off.
How
that Kevin was able to pull
Yeah.
off. You mean thwarting burglars?
Thwarting
or
burglars. He's got like a zip line going from one room to his tree house. He's kicking these guys' ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You don't
just
think
not
Sweet Pie
realistic.
could pull that off?
No,
What
she'd hunker down. You know, she'd eat.
I would.
she would
build
go
a
to the store
fort.
and buy her toothbrush.
No,
and
she
shit
wouldn't do that. She wouldn't go grocery shopping.
Not knowing.
She
how
wouldn't
to-
solve the neighbor's problems with his son. Remember, there's the old crotchety neighbor.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. They're all scared of or
yeah,
something.
and he ends up befriending the neighbor. Yeah, it's not realistic, Mike.
Yeah.
I did love. I gotta be. I loved Home Alone.
Well, you were
when I was
probably a little kid at
Yeah,
the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Stern. That's who the other actor
Yeah.
was. And so what else? What else did we do?
I just
Put a tree up.
decor is up. It's on, dude.
Are you bored with it yet? Have you had enough?
No, I'll tell you this. I'm sick of cleaning up cat puke, though. The cat's walking around eating all the,
Yeah.
pieces of decoration and ribbon and shit
Yeah.
and puking everywhere.
Yeah, that happens.
So
Have they climbed the tree yet?
one of them tried, and I brought the doom.
What did you do?
I just went chasing after it. And
Yeah, it's amazing what a scream will do
Yeah.
to a cat.
clapping and screaming and yelling and stomping.
Yeah. Yep. Cats love getting in those trees.
Hell yeah.
What's next on the list? I really want you to watch A Christmas Story for some reason. I feel like
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
do
really
that.
shit on that movie.
I have shit on the movie. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna just watch it, and try to have blank slate and go from there. And I'll let you know. Honestly, what I think.
I'm sorry to hear that they screwed up the Grinch movie too. That sucks because I was with Beth over the weekend. We were at a little restaurant having some dinner, and on in the background, they just happened. It was on like ABC, and they were doing back to back. The Charlie Brown Christmas and the Grinch. And,
Oh, that Grinch is great. I'm not gonna poo-poo that Grinch.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll watch that shit.
What a dick too that Grinch was.
His heart was 3 sizes too small.
No, I know it was, but seeing him, even to his dog, and he's putting
Max?
that antler,
Yeah.
Max, and he's putting that antler on his head, and then the
He's
dog
tough.
face
He's a tough
plants.
boss. Yeah.
And then the other thing that was just like he was such an asshole when he stole all the merriment from. He
Took everything. Took everything.
And he's shoving that tree up the chimney, and then he leaves one bulb behind and goes back and snags
Yeah,
that
yeah.
last bulb. It was like, wow, what a monster!
I believe he left a crumb that was too small for the mouse.
Is that what he
I
did?
think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was that big a dick.
Yeah. So anyway, but his heart grew in the end, right? Spoiler alert.
Cindy Lou who was no more than 2, I think turned him around.
Right. Look at him taking the candy canes right out of the children's hands.
Does he steal the sugar plums out of their dreams, or am I imagining that?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Something.
Then he slugged.
Well, I'm glad to see here, Jay, that you're still keeping up with that. We'll see how it goes. What else is on the list? Do you have any other favorites?
You know what I want to do is
You
get
haven't
up.
done Bad Santa.
I know.
You can't watch
Well,
that
Bad
with
Santa 2's out now, right? In the theaters.
It's in theaters now, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it doesn't look. And I loved Bad Santa,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I think Bad Santa 2 looks.
Bad Santa's like bad enough where I can't watch that with Manny and Russell.
It's pretty bad, dude. I mean, it's.
How do you? What I mean, I don't know what level they're at.
I know,
I mean,
it's-
like swearing, anything goes. Swearing
Does
wise,
the dude get his dick sucked at any point in the movie?
I think
He's
he bangs
fucking
a
bitches.
He fucks
Okay.
bitches, but I don't think they show anything. I don't think they show
there's-
titties.
No.
Santa getting
They
a girl
just-
from behind, I
yeah.
believe, at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't think they show.
Dude, you really haven't watched
they
it, though?
definitely,
No.
they definitely don't show penetration.
Right,
Like you don't
for
see the
sure.
dick in the vagine.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
pass on
for
that.
sure.
You should watch it though, dude.
Okay.
It is. It's one of my favorite movies, just
Yeah.
in general.
I'd like to hear if it holds up to someone who's never seen it.
Right.
Because it's got to be 10, 20 years, right?
Well,
since
I
that
can
came
watch
out?
it. Yeah, there's this scene.
My sweet little.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa.
Yeah, she's saying that too. This scene is right from the movie, so.
Yeah. Anyway. So what were you going to say, Jay? I think
No, I want to get up to the Muth. I'm gonna head up to Frankenmuth, dude.
What about figure
What?
skating?
you were.
Oh, I'm gonna skate for sure. But
could go
Frankenmuth,
down- you could-
I want to get up to Frankenmuth.
Dude,
I've heard their
okay.
butter noodles are unbelievable. No, I'm gonna get up there this holiday season, dude.
Wait,
I'm
are
gonna
you
hit
trying to-
Bronner's. I'm gonna hit
Wait,
Bronner's
no, get out of here.
before
You're not
Christmas.
going to
Yes, I
Bronner's.
am.
Stop
Yes,
it.
I am.
You taking the whole family up to
Yeah.
Bronner's? Can I tag along? I've never been there.
Maybe.
Go to Bronner's. Wow. I can't believe how seriously you're taking this.
Yeah.
So Bad Santa you're going to have to do on your own.
Okay. Christmas story. I'll do.
Christmas Story you can do a Sweet Pie. Maybe Russell and Manny could get into that. I don't know.
So they
might
won't
be
like
too
it.
cool
Is that
for
what you're saying? Like
No,
a
they-
13-year-old and a 15-year-old aren't
They
going to
might
like
be
Christmas
too
Story.
cool for a
Wow.
Christmas Story.
Wow, I thought this was like the greatest movie ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but even movies like I
but
love
wouldn't they
A
be too
Christmas
cool for the
Story.
Grinch right now? Aren't they at that age where, oh man, I don't watch.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we should move on. And keep us posted as we go.
I will.
Did you see that that woman we were talking about, the California jogger?
Yeah, they found her alive.
Alive. Remember the one we were talking about? She was kind of hottie.
Yeah.
And they
Where they're-
found like her iPod and some hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, blonde strands of
It's put
hair
her
on the
alive.
trail. Yeah, if you remember Keith Papini, the father,
Papini, that's right.
and they were trying to finger Papini bad. I mean, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all fingers were inserted in Papini.
Papini was resisting. He had an alibi of sorts. He was at work and this and that.
Yeah. Well, so he's the one that did the search on the iPhone, like Find My Phone app, and found her phone on the trail and the strands of hair. And that's when he started to be fingered for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was found. It's been 3 weeks she's been gone. And she's found on the
On the side of the road with shackles, like
Yeah.
trying to flag somebody down.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, questions remain about what happened to this 34-year-old mother of two
Well, I
since she.
sort of know what happened.
Yeah.
Take a guess.
I know. It's not. Yeah. This is going to be a real problem, isn't it? So she went missing on November 2nd. Did she know her abductors? Where was she held? Was the abduction planned? What was the motive? This investigation is far from over. Papini was found in Yolo County.
YOLO.
You only live once, right?
Yeah.
California, about 140 miles from the Mountain Gate Trail where she was last seen. She's spotted on the road at like 4:30 in the morning by a driver. Are you stopping if you see a woman in shackles on the side of the road 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Dude.
I might scare
A
the
woman in
shit out of me.
shackles trying to wave you down?
I'd call for help. I'm not going to just ignore her completely, but I don't know if I stop. 4:30 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, no problem. No problem. 4 in the morning, that's when the fog's out or yeah, that'd be
Fuck.
scary. It would just seem like a horror movie.
Picturing her
scene.
emerging from the fog. Yeah, and you're thinking she's okay. Yeah, I could see that. Pretty dark.
Yeah, it'd be very dark. It's like headlights would just hit this woman, and you'd see chains or shackles, and be like, ah!
Yeah, you might call for help.
I might clip her with a car. I got to be honest with you. It's terrifying. They said she is safe. Oh, like you'd stop, hero. Really?
I think I might.
E.
I'm not gonna clip her, and I think I would stop.
I don't think you would. Do you think he would stop?
I
Possibly to rape her.
don't say that. Come on now, you can't just
I don't
say
think it
that.
can be ruled out. You've never been involved. You've never found yourself in that situation. We can't say with 100%
I guess
certainty.
we can't say that you wouldn't rape her.
I said I'd run her over. I'm not gonna rape her after I run her over. Jesus, E.
Gross.
Monster. I'm not a necrophiliac, for Christ's sake. Anyway, so she was released by her captor on this rural road.
Rural.
Try saying rural into road right after.
Rural road.
That's a tough one.
God damn it.
I don't like that. She was bound with restraints, but was able to summon help from a passing motorist. The police have said that sensitive information related to there was sensitive information related to this disappearance, but he wouldn't reveal what that is. That's got to involve the vagine, right?
Jeez. Yeah, I think the vagine was a main player in this whole abduction.
I mean, is there any other reason to abduct a female?
And keep her alive like that?
Yeah.
Either you're just a serial killer, you want to strangle her out after you rape
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
or you're keeping her alive. That's awful.
I mean,
That's
it's
awful.
It's awful on every level, but I mean, we're not going out on a limb here, right?
No.
I don't
No,
think so.
there's no other reason.
Authorities say are looking for two women in a dark SUV in connection with the case. They reportedly are armed. So what does this mean?
Two armed lesbos? I don't know.
Last time we saw armed women in a nice car abduct someone, remember it was the guy they made.
Whack off. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they made him come like tons of
Is it in
times.
Brazil or something? Or-
Yeah.
That's when we found out that Mike has a hard time getting multiple erections.
Is that where we found it out?
No, they had magic. I just wanted to know more about
Oh,
their
yeah,
magic
he
dust.
wants the elixir. That's right. He wanted the elixir.
to get hard faster.
All my point
Yeah, he declared
was
it would be sweet. Yeah, to have that magic dust, to be able to
Here's
get
the-
hard. Yeah, I
so
remember
these
that.
chicks were blowing him and jacking him because they wanted the cum from the guy for some magical mystical powers we all have. If you live in certain parts of the world, that's what you believe. And so they were trying to get this from him, but he wasn't retooling fast enough. And who hasn't been there, gentlemen? Am I right? And so they had some sort of magic dust that they could throw on it, and then it was like bang, fucking rock. Again, and then he could come again, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I want to know more about this magic dust they threw on him." And you guys were like, "Oh, you can't get it up! You can't get it!" I was like, "No, I just want to know more about the
I
magic
think at
dust."
one point we referred to the magic dust should just be looking at titties or vagine. Like that's enough.
So if you went in the corner and jacked off,
Yeah.
and then it was like, "Do it again. Here's the picture of some titties and vagine,"
Well,
and say you
There'd
did,
have
say
to
you
be a-
did. So after the third, fourth time, you're still going.
what if there's a real girl there though? I mean, you're right. I don't know. I don't know how many times I guess you're right. Eventually, you would need help.
Yeah, kept 21 days, though. That's unbelievable. Keith, by the way, Papini, for his part, hadn't told the kids she was abducted. How is that possible? How do you keep that from unless
Well,
they're
I guess
1
you're
and 2?
holding out. Yeah, you're holding out hope. And now, look at the problem he avoided. Right? She just saunters back in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Problem avoided,
Oh my
sir.
god.
Look at this white family, huh?
Yeah, boy, oh
Wow.
boy. Northern California white right there. Wow, they're all dressed up as cowboys.
Yes, they are.
What'd you think of her?
It's kind of. I gotta be honest. If you're gonna do a family costume, I think it's a little weak. They're really just wearing hats and like flannel shirts. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no. Oh no. Well, I think we've.
Noticed what Kadog zoomed in on there?
Yeah, I did notice what Kadog zooming in on. Are her teeth chiclets or?
Well, I don't know that they're chiclets. I think what you're seeing is the tooth to gum ratio is not ideal. What is the ideal tooth to gum?
is it possible that she's just an over smiler?
that's
No.
very possible based on this kind of photo they're taking. That kind of girl is gonna.
She could just lessen the smile, and she'd be no worse for wear.
Yeah, but when she gets a hearty belly laugh going, that's unavoidable. What's going on right there is unavoidable if she finds something really funny, right? What is the ideal tooth to
Looking at
gum?
a cowboy and his horse.
Is it 2 to 1 tooth?
Yeah, It has to be at least 2-1,
Cowboy and his horse.
3-1.
That kind of slipped
That
by.
was, yeah, that did slide by. That was a good joke. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to
pile on. But I think it's it's a question. It's a subject.
Is it relevant? Something that
Hey,
caught our
Kadog
eye.
zoomed in on
Yeah.
it. I mean, it was just something we noticed because there's been a lot of people. When I first heard about this over the weekend, it was like, the hot one, the really hot one. I was like, yeah,
Who was,
the
who
hot
was
girl.
saying that?
I think Beth said that at first. The one that everyone's saying, the beautiful jogger in
Okay.
California. I'm like, yeah.
I thought you were like the news was reporting as the hot one.
Yeah, their horse. The ratio is much of a horse.
Maybe we let this one sit for a day or two, let her get reacquainted with the family.
Yeah, make sure she's okay.
Yeah. I'm glad she's home safe, though.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name again?
Something Panini.
I swear to God, I don't even think I said her name. Sherry.
Panini.
Papini.
No.
No, she's not a sandwich. Sherry and Keith. Two beautiful kids. And then also over the weekend, you see we lost Florence Henderson.
No. Carol Brady.
The one, the only. Carol Brady. Yeah.
Have you seen the tic-tac-toe board that people have done with this?
They've turned the Brady Bunch intro into a tic-tac-toe. So
Because it
you've
goes in
lost Mike, you've lost Alice. It's like Carol for the win.
It's in a line.
Yeah.
That's terrible. God, she was everyone's mom. Look at her.
Yeah.
Were you a Brady fan?
What? Was I a Brady fan?
Yeah.
I love the Brady Bunch.
Did you?
Yeah.
E, were you a Brady Bunch fan?
Sure. I had a period when I would go to Nana's house. There it is, by the way. See.
Oh, she'd quickly shut off the porn and
Well,
throw
no,
on, like the Brady Bunch.
like there was that period where Nick at Night would do all the block Nick at Night things in the summer, and like Brady Bunch Tuesdays, Bewitched Be Wednesdays, or whatever. So I used to watch
It's a
it.
huge piece of my childhood. Channel 50. I mean, you come home and
Yeah.
you had your lineup that you watched, and that was a big part of it.
When did you check out of that? Did you check
I
out when
watch it
Tiger
now.
came
You
or
wanna throw an arm
Oliver?
in it?
Were you,
Oh, it definitely jumped the shark with Oliver. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
What happened? A cousin.
They brought in
weird-
cousin
Cousin Oliver, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that
jeez.
kid fucking drove me crazy.
yeah.
They didn't need him. They didn't need him.
No, but
You're only 5 seasons in.
I know, but when Greg started getting up there, and you know what I mean, like he shouldn't have been there. They had to bring in some cute element. That was like what they did back then. But I think most people,
Family Ties did it. Cosby Show did it.
Yeah,
lots
you're right.
of shows.
yeah. Anyway, this is I'm always I don't know shocked, but it's just weird how it's like, yep, feeling fine, everything's great, and then boom, done. I mean, at 82 years old, it's just crazy how that happens.
What'd she die of?
Heart failure.
Ticker gave out.
Yeah. She had not been sick. Death was completely unexpected. She was at Dancing with the Stars last week.
Is that right?
Yeah, Maureen McCormick's dance. She was there to support her daughter, Marcia.
Her eldest.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, she played Carol Brady, as you said, 69 to 74.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Think of how iconic that show is. It was only 5 seasons.
Is that more of
5
a
years.
curse than it is awesome? Like that's one of those shows.
It is if you're Greg Brady. He's still
Right.
trying to get out from under that.
I mean, you either just embrace it and end up doing Comic-Con every year as Greg Brady,
Yeah.
or doing
And
Brady
even when you
on Ice,
embrace
whatever.
it, then people like us just make fun of it anyway. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really hard to like kind of embrace it,
That's
but
like
not
in a
look
league
like,
of its own, though. Think about that. It's one thing to be a child star, on
Right.
whatever, but
Yeah.
dude, that's like it's so iconic. Everybody knew those kids. Everybody looks at them and that's Marsha, that's Jan.
And that's what I mean, because you take these 6 kids who are virtual unknowns, who are actors. Mike Brady, the dad, was a serious
Stage
like
actor.
Broadway stage actor guy,
Thespian.
and
Thespian.
he was an absolute thespian.
And a homo.
Yes, he was a very homo-y thespian. But then you do this show for 5 years. 5 seasons is nothing. Think about 5-year chunk in your life. It's nothing. Over in an instant, and that's you now. You're Greg fucking Brady, which is the shit in 1975, but it's a joke.
Tried
a
to
few years
parlay it
later.
into the variety show, and they did all that. But he's still doing that show in Branson, Missouri,
right, yeah.
Yeah,
That
which
son
is
of a bitch.
probably the only city in America you could do that in.
Yeah,
Maybe Vegas,
yeah.
but outside of Vegas, Branson, Missouri.
I don't even think Vegas, dude. I think it's only Branson that you could do that in.
Yeah. I mean, you
Gatlinburg,
couldn't.
Tennessee.
Or I was gonna say, Gatlinburg maybe.
Dollywood,
Yeah, something
perhaps.
like that. I mean,
and when I say Vegas, I mean Old Vegas. You're,
Oh,
you're
okay.
going down to the Golden Nugget or something.
okay,
You're
yeah,
not-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could. You're right.
Windsor.
You're right. He could be at the Four Queens or whatever.
Yes.
Or
Yeah, you're not doing this in New Vegas. But yeah, wouldn't that, suck to be tried to? You couldn't be taken seriously for any role. It's the thing that what's his name? What you talking about? Willis ran into.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold Drummond.
Yes, exactly. Where you're just,
and then you guys are
Dudley.
calling him up.
Dudley did one.
That son of a bitch is Dudley
Two-parter.
forevermore.
He did 1 2-parter.
Dudley in
and
a bike shop. Well, when you're a fidget, though, like Emmanuel Lewis or Gary Coleman, I mean, dude, what else are you going to do, really?
Well,
It's-
the holiday season is huge for you.
You're gonna, I mean, how many
kidding
Star
me?
Wars movies can they do every decade?
Apparently, a lot.
Yeah, now they can.
Yeah. Are you going to go see that, by the way, Rogue One?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you excited for it?
December 16th, yeah.
They released a new trailer. Are you excited about
I
that?
have not seen that.
You want to see it?
Look at that son of a bitch. What
That's
you
the
talking
whole
about?
idea in the first place.
Kimberly.
Willis needs a job.
You get the picture? I'm unemployed.
Then why don't you collect unemployment insurance?
Arnold,
Kid's
to
like
collect
40 there.
unemployment, you gotta not be working at what you're working at before you stop working.
Here it comes.
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh my.
An American sensation.
So anyway, going back to Florence Henderson, this does bring out everybody that was a
yeah.
part of the Brady Bunch. Greg Williams is all of a sudden relevant for
Barry
CNN.
Williams.
Yeah, Greg Brady, Barry Williams. She took what she did very, very seriously. She was very gracious always. She was an inspiration with how to conduct yourself in public as a famous person. She was so kind and always would take her time. I want to remind people that there are many of us
Take
that
her
will miss her.
time.
She was a genuine person. I don't know. Wasn't the rumor that he banged her?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
For a long, long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder how many people are going to come out of the woodwork now that she's dead and she's going to start hearing the real story from Greg and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, why not at this point? It's either Branson, Missouri, or start spilling.
Mm-hmm.
Her big break came in 1951 when she was offered the starring role in a little musical called Oklahoma.
Heard of it?
I guess she was a singer back then. Did you know Carol Brady was a singer?
Well, I from those variety show days, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell she had a stage presence.
Well, she had a stage presence.
Undeniable.
Yeah. Did she sing back in those?
Oh, yeah.
You
yeah.
talking about the variety show or the in episodic television?
No, variety show.
Okay.
She was all about it. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
She was loving that shit.
Oh, some of that shit is so bad. See if you can pull up a minute or two of the Variety Hour, the Brady Bunch variety show, and watch a second of it.
Did they do it like as they were the family, or they just did it as regular?
They did it, yeah.
Like, would they say like, "Here's Jan Brady"?
I don't know. That's a good
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, I think
The Brady
so.
Bunch variety hour.
Oh my God!
This passed his TV back in the 70s or 80s.
I want to go and see it.
Mike Brady really dug this ball.
Yes, back on the stage.
Is that the kids? Oh, fast
Right.
forward to the radio.
Oh no! I thought that was.
People watch.
No.
Nothing else on.
He's doing it for you.
Oh, remember that. When other kids say your father wears tights, tell them he's doing it for you.
Now I've heard enough. Your father makes his first public appearance in his life, gets one little case of stage fright, falls in the pool, and you're ready to throw him out. Is that it? Is that the kind of miserable, ungrateful children you are?
Oh, yeah, they had to switch out, what's her name, didn't they?
Which one?
Oh, no, they're all there. I was thinking Cindy got switched out, but that's her.
Did Mike make an appearance in this?
Yeah.
Because I know he resented this show big
Oh,
time.
I totally remember him dancing around and shit.
Or he might have been. Was he dead then of AIDS? No. Why are they talking about him like that? No, whatever. So anyway, she gets her big break in '51, and then So the kids leads to a Broadway career for her.
Oh God.
There they are
Yeah.
in sequence.
Oh, there's
Watch me strut my stuff. I can't get enough.
Dude, if you watched the first episode of the Brady Bunch, who could have imagined?
When was this? This has got to be the 70s, right?
That'd be 79 or some shit.
Yeah. The big variety shows. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, this passed for television back in the day, E, when you only had 3 channels.
Here's some guy playing a guitar now.
That's Greg
Some
Brady.
guy. Some guy.
Learning it.
Not you. Daddy, look what he just did to my new Led Zeppelin album.
Oh, he lightened up. When Dad was our age, his dad probably bent Elvis Presley in half.
She was the first female to host the Tonight Show, too.
Yeah, I read that. That's weird. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Carol Brady on the Tonight Show. And that was before the Brady Bunch.
Before the Brady Bunch, yeah. So from her Broadway stuff to the Tonight Show, I would have never guessed her
somebody
either.
going into that show. That's crazy.
Yeah.
76 to 77. November 76 to May 77.
What's that?
The show ran.
The
Right? That's
the
what it
Brady
said.
Bunch, or you mean the variety show?
The variety show, right? That's what I'm reading, right, Kadog?
The Brady Bunch hour.
Oh.
Ugh. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway,
Well,
did you see Rosie O'Donnell's taking a bunch of shit right now?
Yeah, but... yeah, tell me about this.
It's interesting. Yeah, obviously she's had this ongoing running feud with Donald Trump. I said that about Rosie O'Donnell, calling her a fat pig, all that kind of stuff. Well, I guess she posted one of these where she reshared or retweeted a video someone had sent her about whether or not Barron Trump has autism. Just looking at the signs, seeing this 10-year-old and his mannerisms. And I guess Rosie has an adopted child that they've said is autistic now. And so she retweeted this, and she's talking about how, I was trying to raise awareness, and a lot of people were fucking livid, like, how dare you bring the kids into this, blah, 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 blah.
Dude, you called this a couple weeks ago, the election night speech that Trump gave, and on comes Barron, and the look on his face, a very just emotionless, kind of just looking out, and I kind of attributed, dude, it's like 2:30 in the morning, he's a little kid, they're forcing him to throw on a suit and tie, he's probably sick of all these public appearances, probably just is told, hey, be a good boy, just stand there, don't be a dickhead. And so that's kind of what I attributed to. But dude, if you look at other events, he's pretty emotionless. I wonder if there's not something there.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe Rosie's probably the last person that should be, why open yourself up to that just because you've had this feud with him? It's just going to be viewed that way. But I'd be lying if I said anything other than looking at that kid. He's on the spectrum somewhere. Yeah, and every time I've seen him, and it really stood out at the night you mentioned. But there were plenty of other times where he's just got this kind of blank, Big E looking stare on his face, and so whatever, he'll be okay either way. But Rosie's coming out to defend herself now. Here's how it went down. My 3.5-year-old daughter, Dakota, was diagnosed in September with high-functioning autism. I have been immersed in that reality since. Reading, asking questions. It's all autism all the time for the newly diagnosed, as we try to grab onto anything we can to keep us standing. When I saw the anti-bullying video that mentioned Barron, it spoke to the symptoms that many kids have. It was educational and informational. These symptoms, so many do not understand. I thought, how amazing, if it's true. If it's true. I tweeted from my heart. Yeah. So the Trump family has never spoken on this at all. Do you think she's out of line for that?
Like you said, coming from her, everybody's going to jump on her and just think it's sour grapes and she's trying to stir shit up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a little out of bounds, don't you think?
Yeah, I think
it's like as if she's shedding light on this, like, hey, get that boy some help. Dude, they know the kid.
Yeah.
Like, if there is something wrong, I'm sure he's getting the help, and, I'm sure he'll be repeating 8th grade soon enough. But
the fact that they identify a specific 10-year-old boy too seems wrong. Like if she was just, you know, hey, I'm a parent with a young child that's autistic, and I found this informational, educational video about autism, and it's just got general children with their symptoms, and she tweets it out for Autism Awareness Month or something. No problem.
Yeah.
But when you're singling out, does Barron Trump have the, like, you're outing him. They're talking about the way he claps, the way he stares, you know, things that we've noticed too. But that's where I think you're like, dude, not your place to speak on it.
hey, if you dread doing your personal or business taxes as much as you dread your daughter announcing her first boyfriend, let Kyle Mayer handle it all for you. Kyle's a pro who you can trust. Don't waste your time trying to figure out all those damn forms, numbers, and deductions. Leave it all to Kyle. Call him today at 248-521-0016. And if you are one of the first 100 TDC listeners, you get the special price of $69. But even if you're not in that lucky 100, tell Kyle that the Detroit Cast sent you. You'll get 10% off your tax prep bill.
Hey, I haven't paid tons of attention to this, but really quickly, have you followed this this deal that kind of kicked up Thursday when we were on Thanksgiving, or maybe the day before, about Hillary Clinton and them trying to recount the votes?
Yeah, Jill Stein spearheaded the thing.
The Green Party?
Right.
Yeah.
And now Hillary's on board.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I mean, you might as well recount, I'm sure.
Did you see Trump went on a Twitter tirade this morning?
Yeah, because of the hypocrisy of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sure, when he questions the legitimacy and the finality of an election, he's called out as this monster that's questioning our constitutional fortitude. And then, yeah, she's going, yeah, let me know how that comes out.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know. Jill, let me know.
They're really focused on what? Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
I believe.
I've heard some election lawyers talking about this, and they're like, yeah, when you do a recount, you're talking about like the change of maybe 300 at
votes.
most, 500 potentially. But when you're talking 10,000, 70,000 in the case of Pennsylvania, I think it is, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, what are they saying? That the difference was they just, and I don't even think they're claiming that it was rigged or whatever, but some hackers could have gotten in because the numbers didn't seem to coincide whether they were paper ballot versus electronic ballot.
I haven't heard anything specifically like that. All I've heard is exit polls didn't seem to match what the actual numbers were, and therefore they're thinking that there was some hack job potentially by the Russians. What
I had heard was they gained initial momentum, and I think this was days before that. They said that some said Clinton's performance in counties using electronic machines was drastically worse than in paper ballot zones, and this was the cause for speculation of tampering. So I don't know what other they could say unless it was like, oh, they don't have updated machines in poor communities, and so that's why there's a stark difference between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that would be, but that's kind of where this whole thing started. Now they're trying to raise $7 million, and as I mentioned, Trump went on this 6-tweet rant this morning, just quoting Hillary and all the things she said about how horrendous it would be if you didn't,
accept the results.
Yeah, when she thought automatically she was going to be the winner. So anyway, let's take a quick time out. Kadog's probably starving.
This son of a bitch walks in here with a 12-inch sub and then doesn't touch it for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's remarkable to me. I understand if you come with a bag lunch like you two gentlemen often do, it's meant for the break. But how someone walks in this place with a DeBella's sub and lets it just sit on the counter for 3 hours.
The windowsill. He just sets it on the sill.
It's baffling to me. I can't, half the time I start eating in my car.
Well, look at him. All he needs is a drink of water and a couple breaths of fresh air every day, and it keeps him going.
Kadog, what say you?
It was really early. I mean, I don't know why you can give me so much crap. It was at that weird, awkward, it's not quite lunch, it's not quite dinner time.
Oh, I disagree. That was at standard American dinner time. It was like 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
5:15, that range.
It was
Maybe on the edge. On the edge of old man dinner time. You think 5 o'clock's a good dinner time?
You could totally eat dinner at 5 o'clock.
I prefer a 6:30 dinner, but 5 o'clock's not bad.
See, I agree with Mike, because if you eat at 5, then you're hungry at that 9.
Then
10
eat
o'clock.
again.
Agree.
Then
But
eat
you're
again.
not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat.
I agree with Jay on this one. Eat again.
The closer you get to going to bed, you're not supposed to eat. So
Exactly.
like,
And I don't want to eat and then go to bed without a
dude, if
chance
I
to
ate
burn
at
the
5,
calories.
I'd be
eating
hungry
and
again
going
at
right to bed.
10. It's terrible for you.
Yeah, I know. I love doing it though.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll take a quick break and let Kadog get to his dinner finally. And then we
In the morning.
God, that bus driver. The funerals are starting to be held now.
Yeah,
for
the guy in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Crab Man.
Yeah. And we should mention Castro dying too. We'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zod Ford and Holly, and I'm excited to tell you about our marvelous Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zod Ford and Holly, and I'm excited to tell you about our marvelous Black Friday deal that's simply too good to miss. Right now, until the end of the month, you can lease the all-new 16 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4 at only $123 a month for just 24 months. Yes, the #1 selling pickup truck in America is only $123 a month, and it's only at Zod Ford. Find all the details in our massive inventory at dealsinthed.com. Hey there, it's Steve
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. As we fire up a new week, wrapping up last week, you had your big stand-up show, didn't you?
I don't know. I mean, I did stand up. I don't know if it's a big show or not.
Weren't you doing
just because it seems like it's
laugh tracks and Novi? Wasn't that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing is it's easier, maybe because it's on a Friday for maybe some people to get out, which makes it better, I guess.
Yeah.
For most people.
There's some people out there.
And there was
Very
about
good.
8 to 10 listeners. Thank you
He's
so much.
He's falling asleep as he tells the story.
I'm not even. No, I'm actually not tired. Thanks for. No, that's awesome.
Drunk?
Every
What's
time.
wrong?
No, I don't know. Every time when there's people like that, it's awesome. It's really a big deal, and for the other comics, it's a big deal. I know I say that all the time, but it's a big deal for the other comics. We had only 5 of us there that night. One brought like 10 family members, I guess, that maybe it was just holiday stuff, and then I brought those people. So like, that's a big deal for the other comics too. So it works out for everybody.
You tell some stories.
Did tell some stories.
What'd you get?
Told about.
How long did you do?
15 minutes, and
Nice.
I worked on my story about the Jacks and
Very good.
getting fired from Red Robin. I'm working on those right now. The fired from Red Robin one is the one I think the Jacks it's not close. It still needs still needs work, but it's closer. The Red Robin one still needs definitely some work. But,
Some massaging.
But yeah, but I like it. I'm getting excited about it.
Have you hired writers yet?
No.
Help with joke support?
No, I have not. All me, baby.
Dude, lots of comedians do that. There's no shame in that game.
I won't
hire some
won't
top
ever.
guys to write some
Yeah.
good material for you.
I'm not gonna ever do that, but I understand.
Clearly, you're the delivery system, obviously.
Right,
but,
right. No, you know the great thing about I think Jay mentioned it the other time, but the great thing about some of these stories that I have, luckily, is they're very unique to me. So, comedy it gets tougher and tougher as years go on. Premises have all been done for the most part, and now granted, people are still there's so many funny, smart people that are able to take different twists on that.
Yeah.
But only so many people can tell some of the stories that I've had, so that it's something I don't have to worry about.
Very
Someone coming up
personal
to me,
to you, yeah.
right? I don't have to worry about. For the most part, I'm not gonna have to worry about someone coming up to me after the show and be like, "Hey, man, I've been telling a story about sitting in a room of men jerking off. You're kind of stealing my thunder here or something." So,
yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about people stealing that from you either.
right, so that's cool. And yeah, thanks for the listeners that came out. It was awesome.
When's the next one?
I don't have another one. I have some in December. I have one on the 12th. It's a Monday somewhere in Detroit. I got to figure out where it is. It's an open mic, but I'm trying to do as much as I can right now. So to work on these stories. It's the only thing I always feel bad about. I will say for the listeners that they come is if I'm going to tell stories. The stories they've heard, as opposed to me telling a joke. So when a listener comes, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, they know I went to San Francisco. And
Yeah, but still, to see you on stage
I
like
know,
in the
and-
wild,
Yeah,
it's
right.
different. Like,
It is different.
oh my God, that's the fuck face
Yeah.
right there. Oh my
Yeah.
God, he's
All
just
his
like
glory.
And the bottom line is,
He really does stare at the back wall. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, you're right. And the bottom line is there was 10 other people there from a family. There's other comedians there, and I'm trying to working on phrasing these stories. So, it is what it is.
Very good, E. Well, I'm glad it went well and you didn't bomb. And
No, I did not.
anyone else bomb? Some people did. Anytime you've got an open mic, there's
Open
bound
mics
to be a
are,
bomb. in
open
there.
mics are rough for
it's
sure.
okay.
There can be some there's some ones that you go to and it's a great night and everyone's funny, and there's some ones you go to and I've been a part of that. It's rough when you get up there and nothing's working, especially if you go 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Oof,
tough.
It's a long time.
Hey, before the break, I mentioned the first funeral was held for one of the 6 children that were killed by
The Crab Man.
a bus driver in Tennessee. So yeah, a horse-drawn hearse.
Whoa.
Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to go down,
They have a GoFundMe for that shit. I mean, that's not cheap.
yeah, I think there is, but I wouldn't think that would have paid off yet, so that you could use
right.
it. I mean, you're. So I don't know where the funds came from, but
Sparing no expense.
dude, when was the last time you heard of a horse-drawn
You know what?
JFK.
hearse?
I don't know.
I'm not given to a GoFundMe page for someone that's going to do that. Like, I understand
She's
if
six,
I don't care.
Eve.
I
An
understand.
An
ponies.
engine-driven
Well,
hearse is
I
good
don't,
enough.
I don't care if a family has issues and it's like, man, this family has issues. It's $10,000. I'll pay for the standard whatever. But if you're gonna make me pay money and then you're gonna go some all-out expense,
Go splurge on a horse.
like that money, I'm just not paying to that.
But you'd give Mylar and rain-soaked teddy bears.
I mean,
Sure,
obviously,
look at
I
that.
drive by and throw a teddy bear out the window.
Are people just discarding shit they don't want?
Yeah,
I mean,
this looks like
holiday
an
ornaments.
army guy.
Are these like peppers and stuff? Like,
Those are gourds. They came out of a cornucopia.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Someone say, well,
Army
you got to
men.
bring something, and they
Somebody
just took
classed it up. Somebody classed it up. You've got some nice lit candles, and I like what they were doing here with the gourds and things. It's very timely and festive in
but
terms
an
of the
army
Thanksgiving.
man just kind of
army
like
man?
Well, they're kids.
All
I'll give
right.
them some leeway. I just
The green car. I mean,
his favorite car, whatever.
Does this balloon say you're number one? Or number one in our hearts?
It does
It
say
could.
you're number one. Oh, boy.
yeah, again.
Yeah, how
they're-
do you pick out the death balloon? Do you have anything for like a little kid dying?
dying?
I'm looking for that special Mylar balloon that says, "Sorry, your kid died."
Yeah. I don't think that one exists,
Yeah.
and I don't think I want them to invent that. I think standard princess pink and silver is fine. Boy, that Mylar. Wow.
It's so distinctly American.
It is so distinctly American. You are right, sir. Look at that. You've got there's more Mylar than there are teddy bears.
There is, but again, I think somebody did their best in terms of the candles and things. That's a
Well,
way
is this a different one? I
classier.
think this is a different one, right?
That's a classier memorial.
What are
than-
those-
No, that's the same one, isn't it?
Huh. Okay.
Cadog, same memorial.
What
All
are
in the
what are
same
those
store.
called? Those lights that you are impressed with? Right now, those teacup lights,
Tea lights,
Tea lights?
tea light candles.
the
or-
little tiny ones.
Yeah, but these are taller. These are like I don't know, 8 inches. Let me see.
Some of them. Yeah, it looks
It might be about 10 actually. About
Yeah.
10 inches tall.
right.
Lit candle. It's classier than we've seen. Let's put it that way. There's
saw-
there's no SpongeBob thrown on the top or Spidey, right?
Yeah,
But
That's
it's
true.
classy now.
Doesn't
with
look
the
like the
first
damn
rain.
Michigan Fairgrounds.
Yeah. Well, remember in Paris, they had a lot of
Oh.
those tall candles too.
Candles and flowers. That's it. No Mylar. Nary a Mylar balloon.
Well, remember what happened though when the stampede happened.
Yeah.
And they kicked over some of those lit candles and started a giant teddy bear fire. I mean, so you got to be careful with those. They are lit.
Yeah. That's the danger.
So
But
anyway,
classy.
yeah, it's going to be hard to outdo. You've got 5 other funerals upcoming, and I don't know how you outdo
Seriously, what a dick
Cordelia
move
Jones did
for the first one.
Yeah, horse-drawn hearse,
Ugh.
day one, right out of the gate. I mean, that seems like a finale event,
Wow.
doesn't
Did
it?
it have like the glass side where you can see the coffin inside? and
I don't
everything?
know.
My
I don't know.
Lord.
But yeah, impressive. Went down, rolled down Main Street too, for the whole townsfolk
Just hear
to
those
see.
hooves. You can just hear a pin drop.
Clippity clapping.
Hooves just clippity clap down Main Street.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had to shut down. What, they had to shut down the traffic?
I don't know. It says all I know is it was a horse-drawn hearse pulled the casket of Cordelia Jones
You
down
ever
Main
been
Street.
driving where there's a funeral?
Yeah.
It doesn't totally shut down the road, but
But a
yeah,
horse-drawn carriage
you
might.
yield. So you yield.
But down
for-
Main Street
yeah,
on a holiday
you
weekend?
yield. Give respect.
Yeah. I don't think they have headlights though. Usually you have to turn your lights on so you know where the last
Right.
guy in the procession is.
Just
So
watch for the little orange flag. When I
Yeah.
see the car with 4 of them on there,
then
go.
you go. Then it's your turn. So yeah, people were just like hanging out in businesses and homes and like, oh wow, a horse-drawn hearse, it's cool. And they went outside and that's how they did it. They looked on, and then people had the flag at half-mast. 5 more funerals are to come for the Woodmore Elementary School children who died Monday after their bus crashed into a tree. We were talking about this last week. Jonthony Walker Black. Yeah. He is facing now 6 vehicular homicide charges.
there he is.
That's actually the Crab Man, isn't it?
Yes.
He looks just like him. The community has come together to support the Jones family and the families of the other victims. Bear with me as I try to get through these names. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not easy. Demayan Brown, Zaira Mateen, Keontae Wilson, Zoe Nash, and Ziana Janal Harris are the other children. Wow, that's unbelievably
He's
similar.
got his hair down, but,
Dude. He looks just like the Crab Man. So it's now starting to come out that there were plenty of people complaining about my man's driving.
Yeah.
Jonathan Walker Black's driving. Sounds like speed was a real issue with this guy. Sounds like you go into a different line of work though. Buses, it's so hard to get a bus up to top end.
Exactly.
Dude, you guys like what is he speeding for? Like you know, there's a set time they get there. Is he trying to?
It sounds like he was a little unstable. There's quotes I think from some of the other kids saying that he had stated to them, "Are you ready to die?" and shit like that. And there was stuff leading up in the weeks prior where he was acting erratically.
Yeah, they said in the weeks before the crash there were a couple notes, I guess written by students. One of them said the bus driver drives real fast. It feels like the bus is going to flip over. When someone is in the aisle, he stops the bus and he makes people hit their heads. Another student wrote, the bus driver is doing sharp turns and he made me fly over the next seat. We should wear seatbelts. Do you think he's trying to fuck with these kids on purpose? Because you're right. That's the other story that came out over the weekend was the New York Post talked to one of the mothers that said that one of the kids reported to her, he said, are you ready to die? Which, was that like a heads up, or was he like, you ready to die? Or was it like, oh my God, we're spinning out of control, are you ready to die? Like,
Whereas your bus driver yelled, help me, Jesus!
Lord Jesus, take the wheel!
Jonathan E. Walker Black yelled, are you ready to die? He was a less faithful man.
He was, because...
Same thought process, just less faithful.
Dude,
Lord God, Jesus, help me!
Lord, take the wheel! One of those giant fucking wheels. It's like, dude, Jesus
You're
is not...
sitting in the back going, no,
Time
you
out.
take the wheel.
Like, I understand we're on a church trip right now, but please, Jesus is not stepping out of this bus. It's on you, sir. It's a miracle we didn't flip that guy.
He goes hands
Lord
up.
Jesus, take the wheel! Lord, please! Jesus! It's like, dude, you're the one fishtailing on a snowy freeway. Don't blame Jesus.
Spinning.
What are you calling Jesus into this for?
Whew.
Christ, he had nothing to do with this.
Well, I'm thankful you made it. And that all your compadres also. All you hit was a pass with care sign.
Exactly.
Or was it a do not pass? I don't remember.
It was one of those. But it took the sign down. Took it down to Chinatown. We were able to finish our venture onto Copper Mountain.
Good.
And I was able to ski while wearing my very badass T-shirt that said, "This bug's for you," with a frog on it catching a fly.
Oh, God.
Because, dude, when you're in 7th grade,
I know,
a beer
dude.
T-shirt's the shit. I wasn't allowed to have
yeah.
a beer T-shirt.
I
This
remember.
bug's for you, a play on the "This Bud's for you."
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
You were into wordplay even back then.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah,
It's been
that's a
a
good
long time
point.
coming.
Yeah. So
It's been building to this crescendo.
it's one of those you just walk into the room proud of your shirt. What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah. Chicks
Oh,
just spread their legs.
He's wearing a "This Bug's for you." That's almost a Budweiser shirt. Woo! He's living on the edge.
That would have been, the funny thing is, though, that would have even been before the Budweiser frogs, right? Or was they around longer than I realized?
No, it would have been before the frogs. That's a good point, E.
Because that's actually what I thought.
I forgot
when you
about
first
those
said
damn
that.
frogs. Yeah.
Wise.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah, that's actually, because when you first said it, that's
No.
actually kind of what I thought
Great
the joke
pointing.
was, and I didn't.
See if you can Google "This Bug's for you" T-shirt, Kadog. Yeah, it would have definitely been before that, and the frog didn't look anything like those frogs. I think it was just a simple play on.
Budweiser frogs came in 1995.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is well in advance.
Well in advance. What's going on with bus drivers? Do you trust bus drivers, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I watch them drive my little sweet pie off every morning, and
Yeah. Do they seem like
What
they
do you
got
mean?
this shit?
not so much, but
Do you have does Sweet Pie like have a guy bus driver?
yeah,
Old
it's
man.
an older dude. Yeah,
See, I always remember like crazy old lady.
yes,
bus
that's what I
driver.
had too.
Yeah.
I had
You know-
Maggie, the crazy old lady, and we were sure she had purple hair, like she had these weird roots to
Yeah.
her hair, and we'd kind of get up behind her. And, oh my God, it's purple.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Did you fuck with your bus drivers too?
No, not. She was really nice. Like she'd give out candy just randomly and stuff. So
Oh,
nobody
wow.
fucked with her. Yeah, she was
No,
really cool.
I never had. I don't know that I would have eaten candy from my bus driver, but
I had the
never
same
gave him out
bus
anyways.
driver for years, man. Maggie. I mean, it was
Really?
just the same. Whereas now I see these kids getting on the bus. It's different. It's mainly the same guy, but
Yeah.
you see others.
I think of there were always kids fucking. I mean, anytime you get a room full of kids, they're just going to be fucking around. And so it takes a special person to be able to drive a bus
Oh,
around
yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. I would
That'd be the
definitely scream at
worst.
kids' faces.
That would be
Definitely.
the worst.
You know, Sweet Pie has had it's not an iPod. Maybe it was an iPod.
Yeah, probably.
But it it can film and stuff. The early versions of the iPod or something. Could you film with that?
Oh, she probably had
iTouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got this old iTouch that one of the boys had, and they threw it to her, whatever. It's just this cheap thing that.
So she had the iPod Touch?
I guess, yeah. It's old
Yeah.
and shitty. But anyway, it still records fairly well, and she'll every now and then go, oh, look what me and Teresa filmed on the bus. It's just them being stupid. And in the background, dude, you hear the guy on the loudspeaker, sit down. Everyone sit down now.
Yeah.
Very stern.
Yeah,
And then you see these little poops just sitting in those big seats.
Better sit down.
The seats are enormous, and they're just sitting there.
Bouncing in the back.
Yeah,
that
it's
weird
crazy.
vinyl green seat.
Yes, green.
Yeah, why? Is
I
it
used to
still
get
like
bus
that?
sick all the time, but not to the point I threw up, but they were, I don't know, I would just get sick on those buses all
Gab,
the time.
Gab has gone on like field trips and stuff, and
Yeah.
she learned real quick. You drive yourself. Like she went on
Yeah.
a couple where she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be the whatever on the bus, and I'll watch the kids." And no, I'll meet you there,
Yeah.
and then I'll take a group from there because she gets totally sick on those things.
I think of bus drivers like they yelled at us a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
that they swore. They probably did. Like back then, when we were taking the bus, that bus driver could have said anything to us, and the parents would have been like, "Well, what are you fucking with a bus driver for? To
Right.
drive him to that point that he would call you a cocksucker. You brought that on yourself, son. You need to learn from this." Nowadays, it'd be on Twitter and Facebook. Oh my god, he called my kid a cocksucker. Oh my god. But this one bus driver lost his shit apparently in Minnesota. He's gone off the deep end, called a couple kids the N-word. Oof. Yeah. It's just like, fine, you lose your shit, you call one a cocksucker, you call this one an asshole. I get it. But you gotta reserve that. You can't throw the
Can't get racial.
Yeah, you just
Racist.
can't do it. I mean, you're gonna lose your gig. And, not the end of the world if you're a bus driver, I suppose, but yeah, Minnesota bus driver, he did one of these where he was like, all right, out! All of you, get off my bus! And threw like 20 of them out onto the street and then took off.
Of my car now! God damn you to hell!
It's that guy. But we're just looking for a ride home, sir. We'll be quiet.
Get out of my car now!
He became angry after two of the brats on the bus started taunting him. So they're finger pointing and fucking with him.
I'm facing a fucking moron! Get out!
Deshauna Dotson, who goes to Horizon Middle School in Moorhead, said she was called the N-word by the driver as he dropped them off on the side of the road. It was kind of a scary area. It's not a very safe area. There's no sidewalks. James Van Redden, whose daughter was also on the bus, said the driver told the students, "You can just get off and you can all walk."
Everybody's got their breaking point.
Yeah, he
It
reached his.
could be so, dude. And I think, I'm sorry, I don't know. I feel like it'd be worse than ever right now. I feel like just you talk about how kids are
being cocksuckers.
Yeah, and I feel like you talk about how like the parents side with the kids and all that stuff. So I feel like these kids would know in their mind that they're not going to be seen as wrong.
Yeah.
That it will, and
you're
would,
right.
would less respect the situation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So when he did that, it was like, everybody get off my fucking bus. All 20 of the students got off the bus and were essentially just left on the side of the road. Van Radden's daughter told him the driver called two of the students he argued with the N-word and called the other children on the bus assholes. Yeah. School superintendent, I was kind of surprised. I figured she was, and she did. So I thought she was just going to go, there's no room for this and all, blah, blah, blah,
No
blah.
excuse.
But Lynn Kovash said the driver, he's no longer going to be used by the district. The bus driver did the wrong thing. And then she says, but there were also students that were misbehaving.
Huh.
I thought that was kind of cool. And we want to have a safe bus ride for all students. I think the bus driver just kind of got fed up. Transportation on the bus is a privilege. It is not a right of a student to have transportation on a bus.
I like that.
That sounds like a statement that would have been made in like the 80s or the 70s.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not now.
Especially with the N-word being involved.
I remember the bus driver.
Yeah.
I was more of a one that would be just wanting it to be over because I might be getting picked on. But I just remember though a few times.
What do you mean, like throwing gum in your hair or something, or spitballs? What was big in your day?
I don't remember.
Is this first or second 8th grade? We're
Not
just trying to set
well
the scene.
before
No, he
that.
drove to second, 8th grade.
Well before that.
Taking the bus.
Shut up, dude. But I remember like
you can't. It's so painful. You can't remember if it was just spitballs or gum in the hair.
I don't
or
know.
wedgies.
I just know it was. I can't remember. I tried to
that's
hide,
bullshit.
tried to hide some of it in my memory. But I do remember like quote unquote like bad kids, and I remember like that was the saying. Like I remember a few kids getting kicked off the bus or getting threatened to, and that was the saying they said. Like look, it's not. This isn't a right. You know, we offer you this service, and if you're not gonna fucking be good, I'm gonna tell your parents you're not getting a ride. Oh well.
Yeah.
And
this is what I remember about buses, man. I remember like one going one way, one going the other way on a 2-lane highway.
Yeah.
And people would have windows down, and
Yeah.
people just spit into the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
Remember
It's a
just
fun move.
loogies going flying in. That
all the
was
cool
so
kids would
nasty.
sit in the back, right?
Shit,
That's where
yeah,
the
we
cool kids
did.
would sit
Hell
in the
yes,
back.
we did. Hell yes, we did.
I didn't sit in the back, but I was usually right up front.
Buses sucked. Oh,
Did you-
that sucks
were you
so
ever
bad.
involved in any solid mooning episodes?
I don't think so.
I remember being involved in some mooning.
Okay.
For sure. Did they do this to you, E, where as soon as you get on the bus and it's like, oh, here comes fuckface, and they all sit on the edge of their seat and just like, no, I'm holding this seat for someone.
I tried to get on.
They won't let you sit with
I think
them.
you hit a nerve. You hit a
I
nerve.
tried to get on early, and so I could get a seat.
Until the bus driver's in the back catches wind of what's going on.
Hey! We're not moving until someone lets this retard sit down. Find a space for him.
I mean, they didn't have said retard, but that a similar conversation.
Did they
that
make
might have-
announcements to have people give you a seat?
Oh, look at this kid go flying. Kadog just pulled up a video.
Which one are we looking at? Back.
Oh! That kid hit the ceiling?
Yeah, hell yeah, he did. Yep.
So this is a camera just pointed to the back of the bus. Got like a second grader. He comes, oh my God. I think his feet hit the ceiling.
You know how we oftentimes talk about things that we're doing now that 50, 70 years from now they'll look back and I go, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, there was a time when people ate cows. What monsters? They'll like look back on shit that we do now. They're going to look back at like
The
the
bus, public
bus.
transportation.
Yeah, go, wait, they didn't have seatbelts and they
Yeah.
just let some dude half the time with a record just get behind the wheel and drive these fucking kids around?
I think you were onto something last week with just the bar that comes down, like the blue streak. I
Yeah.
think that at least solves something. Maybe the Iron Dragon, maybe over shoulder. I mean, is
Yeah,
that
but when
too
that
much
thing
to ask?
locks, I think that thing
Yeah,
locks. You're
but
not getting out of it. The bar down here.
No,
I
the
think you can
bar, because
still
the bar would be
weasel.
the easiest because you just have it on the the back of the seat would have you'd make them pull it down. They'd say, okay, everybody, this is time. Hold on your seat.
I always felt like I could get out of the Iron Dragon if I had to.
Do you?
Yeah, just kind of shimmying down underneath
Oh
it.
shit!
Oh,
what was that?
That was actually from inside a bus flipping over. Watch this shit. Oh,
School bus-related
man.
injuries are 3 times more
See,
common
if you
than
backed it up, I can tell
previously
you
thought.
the exact moment where my bus driver's going, Lord Jesus, take the wheel. It was right when those
School
kids start
bus-related
screaming,
injuries are
like right about
Emergency
that
rooms
point.
because of bus accidents. How to make things safer?
if I
Here's
can time
ABC's
it up.
Nancy Cordes.
School bus-related injuries
And
are
that's where we
3
hit the
times
sign right
more
there. But
common
theirs was
than
more. We had the
previously
sign to
thought.
prevent us from flipping over.
There's is more gravity changing.
Yeah.
Oof.
Boy, it's
See how that head injury just immediately, boom.
God, it's amazing how fucking fast people go flying. You've seen that in cars too, car crashes, where all of a sudden someone's just at the ceiling or in the back seat.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, anyway.
Hey, Black Friday's here, and our friends at Zott Ford and Holly are going to blow you away with deals that even Santa can't fit in his fat sack. For example, lease a new 17 Ford Fusion SE for only $113 a month for just 24 short months. So before you go shopping for all your little life burdens, get to I-75 and exit 98 to shop for yourselves. There you will find Zott Ford has new Fusions for as low as $113 a month. Surf their cheerful deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. And don't forget, you get a free flat screen TV, all you TDC listeners that purchase a new or used vehicle between now and the end of November.
Nice. Very cool. I want a new flat screen TV. Have to go buy a car. Did you see did you see over the weekend we not only lost Carol Brady, We lost Fidel Castro.
I'll be damned.
Son of a bitch.
We got the start of an interesting death triangle forming here.
I was going to ask you, is there a third that already happened, or are we waiting now? Are we playing the waiting game?
Yeah, I think we're waiting. I mean, the guy from Barney Miller doesn't count.
Which one? Who died from Barney Miller?
The black guy, the mustachioed gentleman.
No. Not for that triangle. I mean, you can go in some other triangle.
Yeah.
Barney Miller triangle, an 70s TV themed one.
You need like Horseshack in there or something. With
Yeah,
him.
that would work.
No,
Sure.
we're waiting on somebody fairly prominent here in the next few days.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people coming out and talking about Fidel Castro. Obama caused some problems.
The Fidel lover himself, Obama.
Yep. And I guess Justin Trudeau, too. This really hit a nerve with Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this.
I was going to ask you, had you heard that Marco Rubio's father was a bartender from Cuba?
Get out.
Yes.
Seriously, that's why he cares so much
Yeah,
about
and Cruz's dad was Cuban, too.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Amazing.
Wow. I didn't know they had bats in Cuba. Interesting. Well, that answers a lot of questions about why they took this so personally.
Yeah.
With Obama's statement and Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau, I can't even look at
This
that
guy.
dude.
What
Remember
a douche.
Remember that apology video we watched?
Oh, where he grabbed the girl's arm or something? The girl, the legislator.
Parliament member or something. Barely touched her, just like trying to break things up, and then went on like a 6-day apology tour over it.
He did.
Yeah, so I guess his dad was good friends
With Fidel.
with the Fidel Legion Castro.
Yeah, how'd he get named after
there it
a
happened,
Fidel?
right there.
Here he comes.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Ooh.
sir.
He elbows this.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Damn it!
Minister.
Shut up!
And then I had to leave. It was very overwhelming.
You bitch!
I left the chamber.
Doesn't that just make you look
to the
weak, you
lobby.
stupid
I missed
bitch?
the vote
Yeah, it
because of
does.
this.
A guy would never do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Guy would go mano a mano.
Trudeau walks back toward the
She
opposition
seems fine there,
benches,
by the way.
perhaps to apologize, and that's when Tom Mulcair starts yelling at him, obviously angry. More pathetic, he tells the
Politicians
Prime
suck.
Minister.
God, they're
The
the
two
worst.
men get into it.
So yeah, he went on a 5-day apology tour.
God,
over
that's
that,
a
over that move.
what a pussy.
So anyway, Ted Cruz was blasting Obama and Trudeau for their statements after Castro died on Friday. Rubio said.
What did he say?
Rubio called it pathetic,
Yeah.
saying it failed to mention the thousands he killed and imprisoned Ted Cruz for his part. He said Obama and Trudeau, before slobbering adulation on tyrants, take a minute to look into the eyes of victims of communism. Marco's right. Why does Obama persist in showering love on our enemies? Castro was not leftist chic. He was a murderer and a thug.
What a nerd tweet.
Yeah, totally.
Ted, you're a nerd.
But yeah, they were pissed off about this. I don't know. I don't have much thought on Castro.
You don't picture him as murderous as many of these second generation.
Well, look, there's lots of people.
Do you not believe that, Mike? Do you not believe that he was a murderous dictator?
Well, to Marco and Ted Cruz, what Ted Cruz finished his tweet with was, why do young socialists idolize totalitarian tyrants, Castro, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, all evil, torturing murders?
What a nerd tweet! Totalitarian. You son of a bitch.
Dude, I'm sorry, but look, if you're going to throw around Stalin, Pol Pot, Mao, Hitler,
Yeah.
you know, look, those guys put up huge numbers. I mean,
Better have some gas chambers to back it up or something.
something.
Right?
I mean, you're just going to give him that kind of status?
I know.
I mean, by all accounts, and I know if you're down in South Florida, you don't even want to hear this, but whatever. By all accounts, historians think that Castro was responsible for 10,000 to 100,000 deaths.
It's nothing.
Which, you know, when you compare it to this room, I mean, what are we? Kadog's probably got a few murders on his hand just from his
CIA
days. But
not murder.
Deaths, some part on your record. The rest of us, I've got zero. I'm not proud of that, but E,
No.
you've got zero as well. So obviously, in this room, 10,000 to 100,000 sounds impressive. But when you talk about
the Maos, the Pol Pots, the Stalins,
Stalin,
we're talking genocide and shit.
34 to 49 million killed as a direct result of Stalin, by best estimates.
Yeah.
10,000, you're willing to put him in the same league? Stop it. Pol Pot, 1 to 3 million dead. Doesn't sound that impressive when you compare it directly to Stalin. I'll give you that. When you're talking 34 to 49 million, direct result. But 1 to 3 million dead out of a population of 8 million.
Ooh.
Dude, percentage-wise, that's
Yeah.
untouchable. What's that, a quarter? Upwards 25%? All dead at the hands of Pol Pot.
The Pot was a serious killer.
Mao Zedong. Who can forget the his great leap forward? Killed 45 million in 4 years.
Shit.
Holy shit!
That was in China between 58 and 62.
China.
That's a hell of a run, dude. I think we can all agree. Hitler, I mean, the numbers are staggering, 6 million Jews alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to throw Castro in the same group?
No, I think that's why he's getting some lukewarm tweets out of people.
Anyway, people think he gets a pass, too, because it's not in some, like, his killing fields. And
Yeah, it wasn't like a horrific kind of way. It was just like, they just disappear.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, it wasn't like
it's
public.
like this paradise island, this beautiful
True.
tropical island setting, and people wax ecstatic about the cars, the 50s cars.
Mm-hmm.
Kadog loved it.
I did. Cuba was quite nice.
How was that concert when?
Yeah, you went down there for the Stones, didn't
Yeah, it was awesome. Like 2 million people there.
you? But not you.
But
Not
me, no.
Kadog, yeah. He was there for a wedding. Anyway, so I just want people to calm down a little bit in the comparison. And mostly Cruz and Rubio. I understand people are bummed about this, or I don't know. It seems weird on both sides. It seems if you're on the left, you're like think he was kind of cool, or
Yeah, I don't get it,
some
man.
Che Guevara cool chic, but
right. I don't get why there's this whole population of this segment of the population that doesn't get that he was a murderous dictator. That they're
Yeah.
forgiving of that. Is there?
Well-
I didn't think that was in question. Like,
yeah, most of it was starving people, though, right? And people that
people who tried to take his power. They tried to take his power.
In fairness, they talked shit about him
Yeah.
openly in public squares.
Were there like
And
600 assassination attempts, something like that?
Yeah.
600 thwarted assassination attempts.
yeah, we tried to kill him. Well, we had the Bay of Pigs, and then we tried to kill him with poisoned cigars.
Yeah.
We tried to poison him at one point with something that would make his beard fall out, too. We're kind of anal about that beard. He did kind of have a weird beard that he loved.
Yeah, he's gross.
Yeah.
And so his brother takes over.
Raul. Yeah. So, anyway.
Sure, that'll go well. Hey, the Amazon link. Please use it, everyone. The Amazon link is on DetroitCast.com, and it's an excellent way to support our show without really, spending more money than you're normally doing on Amazon. You go
Tis
on the
the
link.
season, too.
Tis this season. It's the Yuletide. Click on our link. It'll take you to Amazon. You shop as you normally do. You don't get charged more. We get a little bit of a kickback from them. So please use it. It's a great time of year to help out the show.
Do I need to say it?
We do have some email, Mike.
All right, cool.
Hey, before we get to email, though, you all know Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial by now.
Do.
He's offering our listeners a great special. If you are one of the next 10 listeners to make an appointment for a no-cost, no-obligation portfolio review, Merck will give you a $50 gift certificate to your favorite restaurant. That means at no cost, Mark will meet with you, review your financial investment situation, give you recommendations. You've been thinking about calling Mark. Now is the time to do it. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark. E, did you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Thank you for adding that. He woke up. He's sprung alive there.
Dude, he is back literally on the bus from second grade right now.
Yeah.
I want to know more about buses,
I don't
E's
really
bus
remember, dude.
adventures.
I honestly don't. I don't remember much. I just know it wasn't a fun time.
Jay, don't you agree that would be therapeutic to go over some of those
so.
things?
I think we've been through some scenarios here that have helped him out by talking things through. I think it would be very therapeutic.
I haven't picked up an onion that I felt wasn't peeled in a while involving E. I felt like the look on his face and his reaction that we just stumbled onto an onion there.
E, this is a safe space.
No, it's not. It's the furthest
Oh,
from
it
a safe
is?
space.
We are very
this is
positive
therapy.
at all times with your situations, and I know that we can help. So whenever you're ready, E, I'm not going to push you.
Dude, it's
But
been
maybe after Josh's email.
It's been tremendously therapeutic for me to relive the near fatality I had on the freeway when
Jesus, take the wheel.
Exactly, and that's I don't want to say haunted my existence, but it was tough, and bringing it here to light.
Oh, I'm sure
has
Very
been
tough.
very, very helpful. So I'm just saying that's my experience anyway.
So after Josh's email, you can let us in on that. E.
Oh, okay.
Josh writes in. Josh wrote in. Whatever.
Yeah, I see what he did there.
See attached. It's not a dick pic, I promise. And with Josh's promise, I did go ahead and open it. I
Dick
won't
pic?
do that for everybody, okay? So just FYI, everybody out there, don't think I open all attachments, but for Josh, I did.
Yeah. Only if it's saved in a zip file.
Look at the yeah, right. I'm completely shocked and ecstatic that my kindergarten twins are being allowed to participate in such a beloved Thanksgiving tradition at public school. Thank God Almighty, children can still make authentic Indian feather, of course, not dot headdresses. Look at this shit. 2016. They let these kids make Indian headdresses.
Get out of there.
Can you believe that?
No way,
Where
dude.
is
That's from
this?
1982. That's
Honestly,
not now.
Where is this? He doesn't say. Unreal, man.
The picture posted, My Little Indians.
I know.
Wow.
Alrighty, Josh's email's done. Let us in, my friend.
No, I don't.
Come on, let's talk it out.
No, there's nothing. I can't. You have to give me time to really maybe think back. But it wasn't that big of a deal. It was. I don't remember specific events. That thing hit home. The idea of like when he said about the notion of like having
Not
to
letting
find,
you onto a seat.
Yeah, that definitely came.
Did you ever
up.
have to stand and just hold the edge of the seat?
No, but
kind of surf it.
I remember a few times having to just eventually having them force someone essentially to have a third person on a seat, and I'd just be sitting there with half my ass off the seat.
Did you smell then?
I don't
Was
know.
that an
dude.
issue?
I don't know. Okay,
Because I'm just trying to think about the other kids, you know?
Yeah, fuck
Why
you.
is it always you? Why is it always got to be about you? I'm
You
just
guys
thinking
are making it about
I'm thinking
me.
about the kid in the middle who has to sit there and share that with him.
Yeah, what a son of a
Stank
Sorry
ass.
for him. Christ.
What was his name? E?
I don't remember people's names. I don't remember.
Oh, but yet you stood on the steps of Houghton, Michigan.
No, I mean, I don't
and
remember these
proclaimed
people. I don't remember
that so and so can suck it. So and so and so and so
I
can
know,
suck it.
That was high school. I don't remember these kids from fucking
Second,
third
eighth grade?
second grade.
Yeah.
Well, keep thinking, and I'll read
I'm not gonna.
Robert's email.
I want you to think about it over the next couple days, E, and then we'll circle back
Okay,
to it.
I'll try.
This one will be in the story. We've got 5 more funerals to get through. It'll be a constant reminder of the bus issue.
Okay.
So,
Robert writes in concerning Asians at a Christmas tree lot.
Hey, wait, Asians at a Christmas tree lot?
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
Christmas tree rot.
Right.
I was at a Christmas tree rot Thanksgiving Eve
good.
and was stuck behind an Asian couple. The Asian woman interrupted the guy tying the tree to their SUV. When she spoke, all I heard was Asian Mike's voice. She said, "Hey, what'd you do? Get this off." Tree guy answered, "Get what off?" She responded by pointing at her hand and said, "I want to get this spot off." Guy says, "What spot?" She points to some sap residue on her palm from handling a tree. The tree guy laughingly says he doesn't supply that sort of stuff here and that she should just go pick up some liquid Dawn. She replied, "Ah, thank you."
Very good. Thank you. Liquid Dawn it is.
I could not help but think of you guys during this scenario. Mike's Asian voice ran through my head with a hint of Jay's spot. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Always helps with the Lions win. Very true. Thank you guys for doing the best podcast out there. Robert, thank you, sir. Thank you for writing in. And those...
Can't wait to go home and start on their Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Jingle bears, jingle.
Fa-ra-ra-ra-ra.
Yeah, you haven't watched that.
Yeah, that's the punchline of your favorite movie, right?
It was one of them.
James
The duck head. Ugh.
James writes in, Podfathers, just wanted to let you know I borrowed your idea, quote, the gift of dick, end quote, for my wife's birthday.
It's a great gift.
It was a hit. More
Yeah.
people should try this inexpensive and thoughtful idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes it goes over poorly, but isn't
She
that
walks
always
in,
the case?
Just picture it. She walks in after a hard day's work. You know, she's just had that hard day. She's slumping in through the front door, and wham! She gets hit in the face by a dick.
Yeah. And
How
it's gotta
happy
be,
does that make her?
You've got, part of the element of surprise is it's got to be ready to go, too. It's got to be fucking rock.
Yeah.
When you do it, it can't be like, oh, now we get in and like get this thing started. No, it's got to be just like, bang, yeah. Look what I got you for your birthday, yeah.
We got these women figured out, man.
Yeah, easy, simple.
putty in our hands. This is from ssd@iln.com. Speech of welcome. Dear email, we are looking for employees working remotely.
Oh, great.
My name is Willie, he says.
Oh,
I'm the
Willie.
personnel manager of a large international company. Most of the work you can do from home, that is, at a distance. Interesting,
Cool.
Willie. Salary is $2,200 to $5,100. If
What,
you are interested
a
in this
year?
offer, please visit our site. And then he provides a link. I'm thinking I should
Oh,
just
wow.
go to that site.
Well, yeah, duh.
Health and good day.
Oh, wow. Willie sounds like a great guy.
What's up with this spam email, dude?
Dude, all it takes is one idiot to click on it and screw the whole thing up.
You're not allowed in our email, okay?
I'm not even in it.
Yeah, we never gave him keys to it, remember?
Les writes in. Another piece of the Big E Hamlin pub bathroom conspiracy. All right, we're
Oh,
putting the puzzle
no.
together now. Since E apparently can't remember it, he blacked out that evening.
How convenient.
Loyal Detroit Cast listener Les writes in. I too have an E-tard bathroom story at Hamlin Pub during the awesome Massey show. I fear I may have unintentionally contributed to the Big E vomiting episode. At some point during the show, I felt the need to drain the lizard, taking the furthest right of 3 urinals. I can picture that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Someone else took the left, and in walks E. I immediately saw his discomfort at using the center urinal. That's good, E. That's good instinct, though.
Yeah, if
I
you've
will
got
not
an
go to the center and
if you've got an open shitter and you've got people parked on the right and left of a urinal situation.
I don't totally agree with that. I think that signals a lack of confidence.
Yeah, but I think to make
it's
everyone,
awkward.
I think everyone in the room will be uncomfortable. All three parties are uncomfortable when you saunter into that middle one. But
You know
I
you're going to
can
be
see
the
where you're
last man
going.
standing, though. You've walked in on two gentlemen.
Well, that's the problem. I haven't always been the last man standing, and that's terribly embarrassing.
You've walked into that center spot.
Yeah.
And you've gone, and then you've finished before the two guys on the right and left.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that says more about them, though. They're fucking drunk off their asses that they're just draining this thing for 8 minutes.
Maybe, but I felt like I should still stand there and pretend
Really?
to keep going.
Did
Yes, I did. And I stood there for a while, too. I think it's happened a couple times. Yeah. Wow, this is bringing back memories. But yeah, I didn't want to zip up and walk away while they were still going. Like, for all I knew, they'd been standing there for 4 minutes before I walked.
Yeah.
I walked into this
Yeah.
in progress. It's not like we were all in line together and then sauntered
Right.
up to the trough together.
Huh. I would not have felt, I don't know, I would have felt like that's their issue. I would have
Yeah.
felt like, wow, those guys are going to feel like jackasses. If I finish and walk away, they're going to feel like they're totally drunk, like they're
Yeah.
draining for 10 minutes here.
I think I just pushed my hips further into the porcelain so that I was blocked, so no one could see anything, and then hoped that there was some ambient noise in the room so they couldn't hear my lack of stream hitting the back porcelain wall.
No one could see anything anyway. Get it? It's
No,
a small dick joke.
Yeah, I got it.
I immediately saw his discomfort at using the center urinal, so I suggested we all hold hands and sing while we pee. Do you remember that, E?
No, I don't.
Instead of responding, he made a beeline to the stall. As I washed my hands, I commended him for not shitting his pants and left the bathroom. That's all I got. It is what it is, or whatever. So this is
I don't know
Les
how that
just
really
giving-
adds to the
Well, I
story.
think Les may have left right before you barfed.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Is that true?
I don't know.
You don't remember
I'm not
that
gonna keep
conversation?
saying that. No.
Well, he's got to say that, otherwise the other details of his story fall apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I haven't had any details.
I know, but I thought you were starting to regain some.
I remember. I
memory
I don't know,
of
maybe
it.
I kind of. I think I remember. I feel like I remember talking to Ed. I definitely. And I don't know.
Introducing him as Ed Gabara.
Ed Gabara.
Ed Helm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, E.
All right. Well, we'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike. But before we do that, speaking of Ed Helm.
And then we're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug.
If you're watching our YouTube feed, I think Kadog is going to leave you with a cat playing with a monkey.
Well, yeah, I'm playing with my monkey friend. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Look at that simian.
Well, whatever the cat does, the monkey brought it on himself.
Yeah, no
Fucking
question.
with the cat.
No question.
Yeah, asking for it. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God.